Communication, when we say communication, it doesn't mean just talking. No, it means a lot. If you are a good communicator, you are able to read the nonverbal cues. You have to understand what the other person is coming from, and you flex your style and the structure of your message to suit your audience, to suit your listener.
In the past episode, we talked a lot about listening skills and we talked all about the different filters a person listens with. And an interesting fact I wanted to bring up because you mentioned the verbal and nonverbal communication. And people assume to show someone that you're listening, you have to, sit there, pay attention, look them in the eye, nod your head. But if you are actually listening, you don't need to show it.
It will come naturally.
It will come
It will
naturally.
come, and the body posture, the eye contact becomes naturally. I remember with that when I was in, I think, year 5, the math teacher was tough. So I would, look at him and, follow him everywhere and pretend that I'm listening. I'm not listening because I'm just afraid that he will punish me. So I'm like,
there we go.
I'm like, show, and he looked at me, Fahim, yes, I understand. But
Absolutely.
I didn't know anything. I was just afraid that he will take me out from in front of the students and punish me. And he was punishing others. So I was like
Okay.
always looking at it. So I was pretending that I was listening, and I wasn't listening at all.
No, and you had a big filter there, fear.
Exactly, fear, yes. Fear could be a big filter, absolutely. With the nonverbal and
Yeah.
verbal communication, I feel that, uh, a model like the PASS acronym
Right.
can help us or guide us on communication, because now communication is not necessarily one-on-one, right?
No,
We have
absolutely not.
the social media,
Right.
all these, apps and stuff that we communicate through with banks, with, telecom companies, with our service
Everything,
provider,
yeah,
with the government,
100%.
and sometimes with our loved ones using,
yeah, different
different
mediums,
type of
different
mediums,
channels,
yes.
correct.
So many channels. So I would say, a PASS acronym. PASS is when you pass the exam, when you pass something, right? So it's PASS. P goes for the purpose. And this is where we talked about intention.
Yes, intention,
Yeah,
exactly.
what do you want to achieve from that post, for example, on social media,
Right.
or on whatever? Or what do you want to achieve from that meeting or this episode, for example? So always think of the purpose,
Purpose,
and then
intention.
the A for the audience. And if you figure the purpose and the audience, and then the style and the structure will follow immediately.
Correct, absolutely. And I love that you mentioned the audience focus, right? Because this is coming with the listening skills. And then your audience, if you tailor your message according to the audience, you're more likely to get them to understand you.
Absolutely. Yeah, so having that frame of work
Yeah.
can help us. Like before you put the post, why are you putting the post?
Exactly.
And to whom you are putting it? Then you change the style and the structure of the post.
Because it should meet both standards,
Exactly.
purpose and audience.
That's why when we take the children to the toys shop,
Ah,
where are the toys?
they're everywhere.
And they're on the ground, right? So it's accessible for the audience,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's in the marketing. That's how they place things, because they understand the audience. They know that the
Absolutely.
kid want this game, and he or she may as well try it or play with it and
That's
say
true.
it.
That's very true.
Yeah,
And you think about it in terms of reach, right? So
yeah,
it's physical
proximity.
reach.
Yeah.
And this goes into in terms of when we're trying to communicate with people, there's layers. So when verbal, okay, the content is what's looked at, the word choices are looked at. But nonverbal is so much more important because there's a bigger focus on body language, facial expressions, the intonation, voice and tone. They all come together and really make a person, they try to then interpret it in their own way based on that. It's already a message in itself.
Right, right. So it's not only the words that we use,
Mm,
it's how we use them and the
exactly.
tonality
Hmm.
and what we're doing with our body,
Precisely.
what we are doing in our hands. Because that takes me to people who are like detectives and all these,
Yes.
or grandmother look.
Oh,
Have you heard of a grandmother
yes,
look?
I have.
Can you tell us about it?
I
It's
mean,
like,
like
yeah,
the fact that they know everything.
yeah,
So they have that look, and don't try to lie to me. I know exactly what you just did. They call this
yeah,
the intuition of
yeah.
a,
And then when the kid is justifying themselves and
yeah.
they're talking about what happened and stuff, and they just, sit and wait like this.
But they have the answers.
And and maybe not knowing the answer, but me, if they're looking at me like this, I feel like I have to tell more. So I
Ah,
open up.
interesting.
And I say, oh, maybe they know, and I cannot lie. So
Right,
I have to
exactly.
come up front and make my statement. Thank
Precisely.
you.
So body language says a lot.
One of the important element in communication is the fact that we communicate with ourselves internally. If you see somebody walking on the street talking too loud, you say they are crazy. But we do it all the time. We communicate with ourselves. Be careful of the internal dialogue. What do you tell yourself? Because words have energy, thoughts have energy. So we can break ourselves or make ourselves with the self talk that we talk to ourselves. We should encourage ourselves. We should believe that we are capable and we can do a lot, and we are capable to achieve what we desire in terms of goals, in terms of objectives. So don't limit your communication or you communicate with yourself in a negative words. It should be an excellent words. It should be a good words that make you enthusiastic and give you the proper energy. Everyone knows that our body 70% consists of water. Our brain 80% water. And water get affected by words, by the words that we use. So be careful, because the words that you talk, it comes from your mouth and it goes to your sensory taste buds. So you should taste every word that you tell yourself or tell others, because you can change their chemistry. You can make their chemistry better, or you make their chemistry good. And when you are trying to teach somebody a mistake or something, don't talk about them. Talk about what they did. Separate the person, respect that person, but you can criticize the work that they've done or the behavior that they've done. In that way, your communication becomes effective and people are willing to listen to your advice or listen to your direction, especially if you are a leader. So yeah, the nonverbal communication is quite interested, and people can say things with their body more than what they are saying.
Absolutely. It could be the opposite.
Yeah,
You know, for example, you can tell someone's intentions with what they say, and then you look at what they're saying when they're saying it.
and
So
what
I
they're doing.
exactly, I can come in and say, "How are you doing?"
Yeah,
with my face very
yes,
serious,
yes,
but it doesn't look like I'm sincere,
right,
as opposed to, "How are you doing?"
exactly.
where it's more engaging, it's
It's
more
the
open.
same word,
Same words.
but it's totally with the tonality, the way you said it. It has totally different energy.
Completely different energy and different meanings and different purposes. One is to get rid of the person, one is to invite and welcome them.
Wow, that's amazing. So if we say like, if we are communicating with our body, nonverbal, and then we're using our tonality, our tone of voice, and then we're using the words.
Words, yes.
Which is which one is more important?
Well, according to the study that they
Yeah.
did, like the Mehrabian study, and this
Right.
one is a famous one for their communication skills
Absolutely.
model, they say 55% goes on the body language,
Yeah.
38% goes on voice and tone, and 7% goes on words.
Words.
But what do you think?
I don't know. I think they kind of they lowered the words a lot.
Yeah.
But I understand because of the example you just gave.
Yes.
You said the same words, but in a different way. It has an opposite meaning altogether.
Correct.
So yeah, I see that the body has a lot to do with it. But even words are important.
Absolutely, yes.
But in the context of the how you say it with tonality and the body, they change.
Yes.
They would have different energy, let's say.
Yeah.
Now, words are coming from our mouth, right?
Correct.
And every word that we say, it comes through our taste buds.
Our taste
You know?
buds are everything basically.
Yeah, and we should taste it before we say it, right?
Yes.
So that's I think that God created us in this way that every word that should come from us, we should taste it before we say it.
Exactly.
So that means we shouldn't say, some sort of words that we hear sometimes. If somebody run you off in the car,
Yes.
and you get out.
Profanities,
Yes.
bad words, all of these things, and also like when you speak to a person with harsh words, where a word can have so much judgment,
Right.
like you are lazy.
Right.
You're trying to motivate someone, but you tell them you are lazy.
You're actually cutting them off.
Exactly. You're breaking their spirit.
Right.
So your purpose, motivate. Your intention, you care.
Yeah.
But your words, it failed the purpose and the intention. Right?
Right.
So this is something I think a lot of people struggle with, is because they say think with purpose and intention, but they don't match that to the word choice.
No alignment. So we talk with our body. And I remember one of the famous actors, they have like expressions in their face.
Yes.
Like so many expressions they can do with their face. And from only reading their face, you would say, this guy is happy, or this person is upset. And only they are
only from their
so
face.
how many muscles are in the face
Oh my God,
to come up with?
I think hundreds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I do know that this now goes into the deeper version, and it's called micro expressions, where you can literally read a person just from a raise of their eyebrow, a twitch of their upper lip, like their nose, all of these things.
Some people, they say if they do like this, they are trying to lie. Maybe they have, a mosquito.
A lot to consider when it comes to communication.
Exactly. So it's the context again play roles, and what they are saying and what they do in their body to convey the message.
Although many people will go into training programs or seek advice on how to improve their communication skills, they forget that in order to actually achieve success in the process, they need to practice. The best ways to practice in front of the mirror. When you are giving a presentation, when you are giving a speech, if you're even trying to practice how to communicate in a meeting, let's say, practice in front of a mirror and take a look at what you are doing. Take a look at your body language, take a look at your demeanor, your hand gestures, your facial expressions, your voice, your tone. All of these things have a significant impact as to how a person will receive you when you are speaking. But remember, we highlight more on our listening skills. Now, let's say you have worked on that. You've worked on your listening skills. You've practiced how you speak. Now it's the next level. What's the next level? Next level is really trying to be able to read other people through their body language. So remember, there are so many things that you need to look at. It comes with facial expressions, the raise of an eyebrow, the frown, the serious tone and face when they're saying a sentence that should sound more friendly. There are ways that you can read through the layers to really understand the social cue that person's trying to give you. So as people would be trying to cue you with their body language, with their tone, with their disposition, try to really pay attention. In fact, make it a daily practice whenever you go out or when you're with family or with friends, take a moment and really take a look at them. Look at their body languages as they speak. Try to read their facial expressions when they bring up a specific topic. Do they seem more pleased? Do they seem more relaxed? Do they suddenly shift to tense and in anxiousness when they speak about a certain topic, maybe at work or something else? There are ways to read into this, and it actually boosts your ability to communicate effectively when you kind of start to take on these skills and make them your own. So remember, communication skills, it's not something light, as it is the base for everything. Work on it so that you can see more progress and growth in your future.
It's really interesting to see how, words have energy and
Yes.
how they impact us. And there was an experiment they've done with water. And when you say good words for the water becomes better and have better energy. And when you say bad words to the water become
Yeah.
diluted and some polluted or something like this. So I wonder, with that experience, the power of words that we use and the energy of the words and the internal dialogue.
Yes.
What do we talk about ourselves and how does that affect us biologically?
So here we go into self-talk.
Right.
So the quality of your words, and they've done this experiment with so many natural things, like water was one of them. Another one was your plants. You see them thrive, and you see the ones that you neglect and you talk badly to, they just wilt and die.
Wow.
So if you are using poor quality words in your thoughts and your self-talk, how are you expected to develop? Because you've basically, just like with a child, if you tell them you are lazy, you've broken their spirit, you're breaking your own spirit
Yes.
with the word choices you're using.
So guilt, kind of.
Guilt, depression could even come from that. Even self-sabotage.
Yeah. That I'm not enough. I'm not good. And that energy, it will affect even the water because we're 70% water.
Exactly.
So it will affect in the brain, they say 80% water. So that affects us. So we have to be careful on what do we tell ourselves.
Absolutely.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us in such a way that we are perfect in every sense of the word. We can do magic, we can do whatever we want, but we sometimes uh, limit ourselves by ourselves through talking to ourselves or the self dialogue, or
Yeah, through the negative
and we
thoughts.
sabotage ourselves, and we become like, I can't do it.
Exactly. And one thing I always tell people, especially my clients, is what you say, it will happen. Not because you are predicting anything, but because your body is going to respond to the direction you just gave it.
So it's like you want it because you're talking about it, but you know we don't know if it's gonna be like if you're saying I don't want that, or you say I want that. For the brain, it's the same thing, or for the mind. So
Yeah.
it's both taken. So it's better to focus on what you want rather than what you don't want
Exactly.
in the internal dialogue. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, if we are able to stay alert on what kind of talk, self-talk that we're doing to ourselves, we can really build our energy. We can build our how we show up
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
optimistic, or
Hopeful,
yeah,
like, so we don't have to go into like positive or toxic positivity, but more just changing the quality of the words. For example, you say, "This is tough, I cannot do it." Changing the quality of the words by saying, "This is tough, I'm just going to learn how to do it."
awesome.
So there you have the highlights of what we see as communication skills. Now, a lot of you may be focusing more in terms of, well, maybe I need to improve my body language. Maybe I need to improve my listening skills. But none of these things should be separated or isolated. In fact, they need to be worked on together to really have a lasting impact on your emotional skills as well as your communication skills. Remember, work through your filters. Work on your body language, work on your communication skills as a whole. Try not to worry too much about how others do it, and worry instead in terms of, how can I do this effectively?